Dr. Christopher Snyder is the fourth recipient tonight. Dr. Snyder earned his Associate of Arts from Harper College and his Bachelor of Arts from Northeastern Illinois University, his Master of Arts from Northern Illinois University, and his PhD in Justice Studies from Arizona State University. Dr. Schneider is a full professor of sociology at Brandon University and is a leading North American public intellectual. His research and publications have focused largely on information technologies and related changes to police work. He has written or collaborated on 6 books and has published dozens of scholarly articles, book chapters, and essays. Dr. Snyder is the author of Policing and Social Media, Social Control in an Era of New Media. Dr. Snyder has received award recognition for his research contributions and public service, as well as more than a dozen teaching awards and related honors. His writing and commentary have appeared in more than 500 news reports across the world, including the New York Times, Washington Post, USA Today, and NBC News. Dr. Snyder has served as an elected member of the John Howard Society Board of Directors for more than a decade. This organization focuses on criminal justice, harm reduction, and reform across North America. As a JHS board member, Dr. Snyder has worked with the organization to help fund various JHS events, provided presentations to the community about the mission of JHS, and assist with a local non-for-profit community food initiative, Everyone Eats. Now, let's roll the video to learn more.
I don't know how to sum it up, but the accomplishments are pretty outstanding. The amount of publishings you had, the amount of news, New York Times, it's just, he's everywhere and super motivated. My name is Kevin Schneider, and Christopher Schneider is my brother. He's a college professor and super caring, outgoing, very boisterous. Huge heart. He would do anything for anyone. Just a wonderful human being, and I'm proud to call him my brother. He basically studies social media and criminal justice and the way the two interact together, highlighting kind of the transition from paper and the archaic world into the social media world and how it can be utilized for good or bad for, police force, looking at different data. You just basically tie two worlds together when social media was on the uprise, so it happened to just be the perfect timing. Everything he does, when you become a college professor, a lot of the stuff as far as publishings and writing, you have to want to do it. Otherwise, it doesn't make a difference. He can get paid the same amount and do nothing, or he can try and get published 50 times in a year. So the fact that he just has this crazy drive and self-motivation to continue to succeed is it's amazing to watch. Harper's a great college. I went here. Going to Harper, you get the foundation built. You continue to build your career. Here is where he actually got turned on to sociology and kind of found his niche and what he wanted to do. And then just as the curiosity continued to roll, he just got more and more into it. And then the social justice and social media piece, and then that was the end of it. He just continues to drive and push the envelope, wanting to continuously help everyone. And the fact that he's so self-motivated, that's what's extremely inspiring to me and probably a lot of folks around him, because his accolades are kind of ridiculous for the ask of his actual job. To me, that's like the definition of what he's done and what he's represented. If you put him through Harper and you put him under the Distinguished Award, I think he fits wonderfully. I couldn't be happier that you were able to win this award. I don't think that there's a better candidate for it. You've been an inspiration to me for the majority of my life, and thank you so much, and I'm glad that I was able to nominate you and you won it. Congratulations, Chris, on being a Distinguished Alumni Award winner.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the 2021 Distinguished Alumni recipient, Dr. Christopher Schneider. Yes, sure.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out. I have prepared remarks that will take us about 3.5 hours long, so strap in, everybody, and keep them brief. So I'm very humbled and honored to be here, and thank you very much for this incredible distinction. Thank you to the award selection committee. You know, all the candidates and going through all the work, a lot of work there. I really appreciate that. And also Shannon Hines. Thank you so much. So she is the Director of Alumni Relations. I swear she lives on her email. She responded to my emails before I sent them, so thank you so much. And also I'd like to acknowledge the fellow distinguished alumni, both past and the present recipients tonight. I'm inspired watching these videos, and I'm thinking, as I'm seeing these videos, yikes, I don't belong here. I have imposter syndrome. Like, it's amazing what some of these alumni have done, just incredible stuff. And also Eric and Roberto, first generation college student here as well, working class kid. I see you guys, and my grades in high school weren't really good at all. So fortunately, you probably don't remember Mr. Snyder because you had lots of students, but I was a crappy student. So Harper College is where I was first introduced to sociology. So to be recognized for my career accomplishments in sociology as a professional sociologist is especially meaningful. In 1959, sociologist C. Wright Mills published his acclaimed book called The Sociological Imagination. In the first chapter, titled The Promise, C. Wright Mills suggests that the promise of the sociological imagination is a way of thinking and asking questions. Later he asserted that, this is a quote from that, neither the life of an individual nor the history of a society can be understood without understanding both. I first learned of the promise of sociology at Harper College in Dr. Pubel's Introduction to Sociology course around this time, 23 years ago in the fall of 1998. The promise taught me to clearly understand that my own personal experiences were shaped by the wider social and historical forces. For instance, a theme that we're seeing here, higher education would not have been accessible for someone like me, and perhaps others here who've received this award, say 100 years ago, coming from a working class family, but my parents sacrificed and they worked to ensure that I could have the opportunity to be educated, emphasizing the importance and the value of education as a tool for improving oneself and circumstances. So in that way, this award is shared with my parents, both my mom and my dad, for sacrificing their lives, and so I could be here before you today. So it's you know. So Kathy Schneider, she's over there, and my dad Jim, he couldn't be here tonight. He's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. He's watching, so hi, wherever you are, and hi, Penny, who's with him. So thank you to them. Thank you to my nominator, my brother Kevin, who is clearly a much better dresser than I am, and a classy dude, and my best friend. Also his fiance, Stephanie, who's here. Hi, I'd like to say thank you to you as well. My mentor and PhD supervisor, Dr. David Altidy, and lastly but not least, my spouse, Dr. Stacy Hannum, who is my partner in crime. She's right there, more like a partner in the study of crime. We have a book coming out next year in May, shameless book plug, please buy it, so you can check that out. In closing, it is of paramount importance that Harper College remains affordable and accessible, both for current students and prospective students, so they too can learn about the promise of the sociological imagination, among other things, while they earn their degrees. The promise that C. Wright Mills tells us of offers us hope in these strange times. It is thus especially apropos that Harper offers a Promise Scholarship, a program for eligible public high school students in Harper's district where students can earn 2 years of tuition. I have made a small contribution to the Promise program, and I encourage you to do the same to provide a debt-free college education as one less structural barrier that individuals face. Together, our contributions, no matter how small, will ensure that others are provided with the opportunity to distinguish themselves in their careers and their service to community. Thank you.